I'm here with Sherry Mers, and she's going to share with us a valuable program called Publisher Rocket. And it's a way to help us with categories, keywords, and other things. And she's going to actually show us how to use this incredible tool. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning, Mila, and thank you for having me on. I love Publisher Rocket, and by the way, I'm an affiliate, so perhaps I can ask you to put my affiliate uh, code in the video notes. Um, with your permission, I'll just jump right in. I'll share my screen and we'll go for it. All right, then. Here we are with the home screen of Publisher Rocket. And you can either use these menu items up at the top, or you can use these fun little things here, which I do because it's more fun. So you mentioned keyword search, and you mentioned category search, but I'm going to start with Competition Analyzer because this is a new feature. And before I forget to say it, Publisher Rocket has tutorials, but the tutorial for the Competition Analyzer works with the old version. So don't use that tutorial because it isn't for their new release, which is really, really cool. So let's go for it. What we want to do is type in a keyword, and I'm going to use the keyword for a category that your latest book, Cinderella Monologues, is ranking for, Mila. So we're going to do personal transformation. If I can type. And we're going to tell Rocket to go get it. And now you see, it's interesting. This is not what I expected to see. Maybe that's because I used a category rather than a keyword. Let's try that again. Oh, come on. I clicked too fast. It keeps going away. All right, keyword. Let's keyword transformation. And notice here, I'm using books because your book is in paperback rather than as an ebook yet. But you can look for one of Amazon's ASIN. It's their product number. You can use an ISBN. You can search Audible only, or you can search Kindle only, or you can search books. Now, books is also going to turn up ebooks, but since yours isn't in an ebook, that's okay. Why is this not working? How interesting. This is the old version, and I don't know why it isn't showing me the new version. What it's supposed to be doing is showing, maybe it does it in category search instead. Let's search for another category that you're ranking for, Mila.
We are in biography memoir, women's biographies.
I found it earlier today, so I know it's in here. There it is. Check it out. Okay, here is what I was looking for. This is this column right here, large publisher and Kindle Unlimited percentages. This is the new and really fabulous thing to analyze. You notice it shows you how many sales you need to get to the number one in that category. And it shows you how many sales you need to get to number 10. This, I suspect, is how you got such a high ranking right away in women's biographies. And I see you, comes the dawn on your face, Mila, as I'm looking at you on my other screen. It's showing you that 95% of the books in this category are published by large publishers. And a percentage so small as to be insignificant is in Kindle Unlimited. So what does this tell us? It might tell us that you're going to have a harder time ranking in the top 50 against all these large publishers who have a bigger marketing campaigns, a bigger launch, possibly even bigger advertising if you happen to be an author that they bother to advertise. On the other hand, if you were to put your book in Kindle Unlimited, it would show up really fast because there aren't any others in there. And bear with me, folks, because this is a new feature. It is showing us this large publisher percent and Kindle Unlimited percent for all of the categories. So we need to come down here to women if we can find it again. Here it is. Sales to number 1, 1,667. That means all in one day. Sales to number 10, 22, all in one day. Now we've got different numbers here. So 62% large publishers, that's still a majority. 24% of books in this category are also in Kindle Unlimited. Still less competition in Kindle Unlimited than in the large publisher book category. So when you check this out, you get to the Amazon bestsellers. Can you see what's best selling? Can you see the Amazon bestseller instead of the publisher Rocket?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
Okay. So here's the competition. Kelly Ripa. I know Michelle Obama is in here somewhere.
And Viola Davis.
Viola
is
Davis.
at the top.
Yeah.
So for us to get up there like we did was actually really good.
It was really remarkable against all of this competition because some of these people are names that we know so well. Here's Dolly Parton, that it isn't surprising that they're here up at the top.
Julie Andrews was one as well.
Yep, here she is on number 32. So let's go back to Publisher Rocket.
Are you seeing their names? Where are you seeing their names?
That was in Amazon. That was in Amazon's catalog itself, bestsellers. in this particular category.
Hmm.
And the way I got there was I used the check it out. I clicked the check it out link, and that'll take you to the best sellers in that category. So I'm really excited about this because it gives you a different way of looking at the data to analyze how you should publish first, how many sales you need to get to number 10 in that, or number 1, either way. You can see the discrepancy here. To get to number 10, it only takes 22 sales. When you're doing a book launch, it's easy to line up 22 sales prior to your launch and then have those people purchase on the day of your launch, and boom, you're in the top 10 in your category. Now, this is dynamic. If we were to come back tomorrow, it might show us different numbers. So you always want to check it out as close to your launch as you can. And if you need more sales to get up there, line up some more real quick. Have people waiting in the wings. So this is not the only way to get data from Publisher Rocket. Obviously, there's keyword search and the competition analyzer. So I misspoke when I said the competition analyzer tutorial is not correct. It will show this particular view. And so what all these means is the age of the book in days, the number of days since it was published. If it has a pre-order book like this one, or if it is a pre-order book like this one, it shows the number of days until it publishes. So this Unleash Your Transformation will publish 16 days from today. The ABSR stands for Amazon Bestseller Rank. And you can see this pre-published book has had some sales, or it would not have a rank. It's had some pre-sale sales. Number of pages is obvious. KWT means is the keyword in the title. It is important for SEO purposes to have on Amazon to have your keyword in the title. So all of these do, but this one doesn't. You can see that this book is approximately 2 years old. It still has a pretty decent bestseller rank, even though it's in the hundreds of thousands. When you consider that there are about 7 million books on Amazon, that's still pretty decent for a 2-year-old book that does not have the keyword in the title. So it might have quite a few reviews, for example. Here's the price of the book. Estimated daily sales for the book in dollars. Not bad. That's still making a bit of money per month. So if this person has several books, they're making a living. If they don't have several books, they're not. But let's check it out and see how many ratings it has. Hey, it has 39 ratings. And that would be not enough. If it has 100 ratings, it's going to be higher in the algorithm. So this is another way to analyze your competition and to determine whether you can compete. So that's the competition analyzer. Keyword search. This is where you can determine the good keywords for your book. And I used keywords in an earlier search for personal transformation, which is a category that you're ranking in. The average numbers of pages of the books. Yours is quite a bit larger than most of these. This is your best keyword right here, personal transformation books. And I'll show you why in just a second. This shows you the number of competitors greater than 1,200. That could mean 1,201, and it could mean, 5,000. It's just greater than 1,200. Here's the average price of the book. The average monthly earnings for the keyword, not for the book. So you have to divide that by how many books there are. But over here, it helps you a little bit. Estimated Amazon searches per month. There are 686 searches for personal transformation books, which also, by the way, gets you the personal transformation keyword. If you put personal transformation books in your keywords when you upload your book to KDP, it will also show up when people search personal transformation, just probably won't rank as high. The competitive score here, I usually just look at the color. Red means it's very competitive. Gold means it's moderately competitive. And green means there's low competition. That also means there aren't as many searches, fewer than 100 per month. So you have to balance the competition score with the number of searches when you're searching keywords. So I also looked for a very general one that is in your title. Well, you used a different form of the word, but your subtitle is Inspiring True Stories from Women Who Overcame Adversity to Thrive. Adversity is kind of a negative keyword, so I wouldn't use it in your 7 keywords, but overcome might be a positive one. It's very, very general. So now we want to look down this keyword to find a good keyword that matches your book. Is it overcoming anger? Binge eating? Difficult times is pretty general. Let's look at difficult times because that's a synonym for adversity. Only when you click the search will it populate all of these columns. So this is a fabulous competitive score, but fewer searches per month. Average monthly earnings for all the books with that keyword is $186. Not a great keyword. Let's look at overcome self-doubt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Self-doubt and then negativity.
And so these are bigger books on average. They're still quite competitive. The average price is somewhat lower than your average price. The average monthly earnings have more than doubled. That's still not very much money for all those books. Understand that many of the books are not earning anything per month. So you probably only need to look at the top 100 for that average monthly earnings. So, okay, you might make $4 per month on that one. It is a moderate competitive score. Now, when I say you might only make $4 per month, that's with no advertising, no marketing. That's just organic, hope people find it using your keyword in the catalog. But what you're going to want to look at is the ranking, because if the ranking is more than about 300 or 400, having somebody stumble across it in the Amazon catalog is very unlikely. This is why it's so difficult When authors don't pay attention to this data, they have difficulty selling their books.
Would you
You
try
want
trauma really quick? Because I know trauma is a huge subject right now. It's near the bottom.
overcoming trauma? Oh, here we go. All right. Let's look at that. Good competitive score. Not as good as self-doubt. Still fewer than 100 searches. Less money per for all the books, average monthly. You wanted to look at negative thinking or negative thoughts or thought patterns or negativity.
Negativity.
And you might want to look at all of these.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this. Higher competition, but a much larger earnings per. That's interesting. You're only competing against 1,000 others. For 1,000 people to earn $5,000. There you go. Let's look at these and compare. So, overcoming negative thinking is probably even better than overcome negativity because it's got a lower competitive score, even though there are more competitors, but higher average monthly earnings. So you can go down rabbit holes with this, and I suggest that you do, especially with the keywords that are really important in your title and subtitle, because those are going to give you more keywords than the 7 that you select. But the 7 you select should be a good balance between number of searches per month, average monthly earnings, and the competitive score. And remember that you can always change your keywords. So I would keep this data on hand. Change your keywords now and again and see whether it offers you a better option at the time that you're searching this, because again, it changes daily. It changes, I don't know how often Publisher Rocket dips into the data, but Amazon changes ABSR hourly.
I have a
That's
question.
how. Yes, sir.
If it was good to have personal transformation book, and then it said journal, and so would it behoove us to put in both of those because they're very high personal transformation book, and then would you put in personal transformation journal or go to another subject like the one we just did?
I would go to another subject, and I would not use journal because they mean journal to mean an actual journal that you can write in.
Okay. So you would only take one, you'd pick the best one in each subject, since we only have 7, and then I'd move to negativity next.
That or what else are you ranking for?
We had overcome
Religion and spirituality. That's I would not necessarily use that, even though Amazon is showing you a rank for it. I wouldn't. So let's talk about categories and ranks for a minute. As you know, you can have 10 Amazon categories, 2 that you choose, 1 that Amazon chooses for you based on user activity, and 7, well, you can actually petition Amazon for 7 or 8 more categories, and they may take out one of the ones that you have put in when you publish the book, but altogether you can have 10 Amazon categories. However, there was a recent change that means that the Amazon is now only allowing you to rank for 3 of them. You don't get to choose which 3. That's chosen by the Amazon algorithm. So you want to use, you want to be very strategic, because some categories you can be, you can be found in some categories based on your keywords. Other categories you have to have them actually attached to your book, including the 2 that you get to choose when you publish. Again, you can change categories anytime you want. So to keep your book ranked high, once you launch to a high ranking, you want to pay attention to this data and keep your categories and keywords refreshed to keep it high. Does that make sense? Okay. So by the same token, we've got category search. And here's the rub. KDP does not show you when you search for your categories to put into those fields using a choice. Doesn't show you the way the categories show in their catalog. But Publisher Rocket shows you every category there is in the catalog. So let's go to your categories. Let's go to women's biography. We've done this once before. And as you can see, it now has this competition kind of ranking. But we're going to look at something different right now. Did I go too far down? Yeah, I did. Here we go. Check it out. And over here in the Amazon search, you can search down here for women, but you can also search other stuff. Maybe you want to just be in the top. Oops, LGBTQ. What did I do? All right. Now I've forgotten what I was going to say, so let's just get rid of that. Category search gives you all the categories, and you can drill down. That's what I was going for right here. You can drill down. So what else might this book be good for? What categories did you put in?
We put immigration, because we had a lot of immigrants in the book. And I know that's a popular subject right now.
Where, I'm sorry, immigration, did you see that in the?
Is it, I don't know if
That's not a top level category. How about self-help?
Yeah, do self-help.
Okay, let's check it out. Now you've got all the categories that are secondary to self-help. Let's scroll down this. And how about motivational? Was your book motivational?
Motivational, relationships, and we have abuse, but you probably don't want to go there.
So large publishers
Yeah, because there's a lot of abuse.
Yeah. It takes more sales to number 10, but fewer to number 1. If you were to have put it in that category, and you're only competing against 57% large publishers. Let's see what we find. You're always going to want to look at when you check it out, you're always going to want to look at the top 50 at least and see what's going on with them. So, do you see any really well-known people in these? Or am I going too fast? Also, notice that a lot of these are audiobooks, and we're only interested in the paperbacks. Let's see if it'll.
Yes, our paperback was actually against mostly audiobooks.
I wish there were a way in this particular view to filter it so that you could only see the paperbacks, because audiobooks have become more and more popular. But it's really not the same reader base. For example, I never listen to an audiobook because they put me to sleep. I know you use audiobooks quite frequently.
Yes, for driving.
So it's a different reader base. But yeah, so the main thing I want to get across with Publisher Rocket is that there are numerous ways to analyze the data both before and after you publish, so that you can use the benefits, the features and benefits of your KDP account to keep your book placed in the best place for it to make sales. And you don't want to put it somewhere and forget about it, because gradually it will lower in rank if you don't nurture it. It's like gardening. If you don't give it fertilizer and water, your plant may grow for a while, but then it's going to stop bearing fruit and it's going to die. It may die faster without water than it will without fertilizer, but periodically changing your categories, your keywords, and knowing what to change them to is going to help your book stay ranked as high as it can be ranked. That plus marketing your book. I'm not a big fan of advertising. They do have an Amazon Marketing Services keyword search. So you can search the keyword that you can see here. I searched personal transformation, and it will show you not only Amazon suggestions for the keywords, but so I searched personal transformation, and Amazon suggested personal transformation books, which we have seen as your best keyword, and journal. And then it has also showed all of the books that are using that keyword, or at least the top number of books. So you can then take a look at you can export this, and it looks like you can't click on these books, but you can, and Amazon does not allow you to use the title of another book as your keyword, unless the title is something generic, like personal transformation. If your book was named personal transformation, you could use that keyword, but Be Your Future Self Now is Dr. Benjamin Hardy's title. I doubt very seriously if you could use that as a keyword. And you might not want to anyway. For example, bloom would be a terrible keyword for your book, because it could be a gardening book. Who knows? So you'll have to explore this one for yourself if you're doing Amazon advertising. One of the reasons my books don't rank very highly is because I don't pay that much attention to marketing them. My books are not my primary business. So I do as I say, not as I do.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we went back to where we had the publishers, 95% of that book is done by publishers, and then maybe 57% is done, another subject would be 57% was only done by publishers. Is the advantage to go with the 95% or the lower one?
That's something I can't answer right
Okay.
now.
All right.
I can talk about what I think. And what I think is that the pros to going against the stream, in other words, to go to a category where a higher number of books are published by big publishers. The advantage to that is that not every book is going to be brand new when you publish your book. And traditional publishers, big publishers, don't typically market their backlist. That's up to the author. So you could find that for a flash in the pan launch, you could reach quite high in that category. If you do that, take a picture. It's not going to last, but you can use it in your marketing later. The cons are that if the big publishers have recently published their books, you're not going to hit anywhere near the top 100, especially if there are a bunch of them that have published their books within the last month or so, because those books are still getting their launch push. On the other hand, if you go to a category where the big publishers don't publish, the reason may be because that category isn't very well searched by book buyers. You'd have to look at it and really dig into the analysis to determine that. But I would say that it kind of depends on your timing and the number of searches per month in that category, which you can't get on a category search. You have to go to a keyword search for that. So the bottom line is it depends.
Good answer. Perfect. Well, it looks like we have some research to do, everyone. We need to rewatch this video as much as you want to. And I think exploring Publisher Rocket is probably the best next step. What do you think, Sherry?
I love exploring Publisher Rocket. I do it before I publish in order to select keywords and categories. I do it after I publish in order to see if those keywords and categories are still giving me my best bang for my buck. And I do it even to title my books, because keywords in your title and subtitle count. They don't count as much as keywords in your description, however. So be sure and you get 7 keywords to choose when you publish, but you can put as many keywords in your description so long as it doesn't become keyword stuffing. You want to strike a balance between putting a good keyword in your description and putting in some, like I've seen I've seen indie novelists put in a thoroughly riveting, compelling, suspenseful, blah, 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 all in their subtitle and their description, and that will get them punished. Amazon will punish you for that.
When you say description, are you talking about the description on the main page of our book or on the back of the book?
The description in Amazon in the Amazon catalog.
Yeah, I always say, use all your trigger words there. Like with my book From Cowgirl to Congress, I put Gloria Steinem and Jane Fonda and Eleanor Roosevelt. So I talked what the book was about, but I put some keywords in there right in
Yeah.
the first paragraph because that's all people will read.
And those keywords are some that you cannot use in your 7 selected keywords
Right.
because you can't target famous people or other authors' books. That's against Amazon's terms of service, and they will punish you for it.
So I would not be able to use Eleanor Roosevelt as a keyword.
Not in your 7 keywords
Okay.
in your KDP account.
Well, that answers that. That's
But
good.
it will
I didn't know about the
count.
description. I didn't know that that counted. That's very good to know.
It lots of things count. Amazon does not publish their algorithm, but people who are smarter than I am, whose work I follow, have taught me a lot of things, and that's one of them. That it isn't just your 7 keywords; it's the keywords within those 7. So, if you put personal transformation book as one of your 7 keywords, you get personal transformation and personal transformation book.
I'm going back in and putting that word in right now as soon as we're done here. Let me ask you a question about that. Is that how many words can you have in a keyword? Like that's 3.
It's the number of characters. Things have changed since I first started publishing on KDP. It used to be that they suggested you put as many phrases as you possibly could in each keyword field, because you could get quite a few with commas in between. But that's no longer the advice. It doesn't work that way anymore. But they do give you quite a large field, and the problem is less is more, because of the Boolean thing. So when people are searching for personal transformation book or personal transformation, either one of those will get you there. But if you were to put personal transformation book about coaches who overcame such and so, that would have to be a very, very, very specific search for a reader to do. What's the likelihood that the reader will search that very phrase? So make it a balance.
Thank you. That is so helpful. Like I say, I'm going to use that one right now.
Okay.
Thank you, Sherry. This is anything else you want to add before we close out?
Just Publisher Rocket is $98, I believe it is, for a lifetime subscription.
Lifetime. That's
lifetime. Lifetime.
Oh, that's a
it's
no-brainer.
a no-brainer. I believe there is the potential for them to make it a monthly subscription. So get it now while it's still lifetime. It's a no-brainer. And please use my affiliate link.
Yes, I will put the affiliate link at the bottom. I mean, there at the YouTube information. Yes, with your email that you want to give me, so people could call you and ask questions and maybe have a one-on-one with you.
Sure. And by the way, Publisher Rocket, because I am an affiliate who makes sales for them, periodically allows me to do marketing with a bonus, where they can get like a little tutorial course, best practices different from the tutorials that are part of the app itself. So even if you don't think you need, or can't justify the expense right now, might want to get on my email list.
Yes, of course. We will put all that information in this video, and I'm so excited to have you. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing your knowledge with us.
And Mila, thank you so much for all you do for me, including you're one of the people that I follow for things that I would not have known otherwise. So you yourself are just brilliant, and I really, really appreciate you sharing me and my offers with your audience.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, well, we'll do another one soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon.